All right, good afternoon, everyone. The time is now 3:13, and we're going to take a quick look at your forecast prior to our KVUE News at 4 show. We've got Mark Mullins, Ashley Goodo, and then during the 4:30 half hour, we're going to throw in Quita Culpepper as well. And we're going to talk a lot about your news headlines, but let's talk about weather. But there's not really much to talk about in terms of weather here locally. There are some things in the tropics that we are closely tracking. So let's go ahead and let's get down to the nitty gritty as we go to the wall here. Currently we're at 97. That's a quick look at the Oasis Restaurant weather camera over Lake Travis. And we do see some partly cloudy skies here, and we're getting very close to those triple digits. We are at 97, and some of those cumulus clouds hanging around portions of the Austin downtown area as well. Nice live look at the Zach Theater weather camera, and we do have upper 90s for places like Bastrop, as well as here in town, San Marcos as well. 96 in Lockhart, and when we factor in these dew points, LaGrange, you were down from 81 earlier this morning. Cameron, you were down from 75 or 78, but now you're down to 71, so a little drier air this afternoon. And when we factor these in, we do have feels like temperatures getting to 104. Bastrop, LaGrange, it only feels like 100 here in town, 102 for San Marcos. But as we zoom this out a little wider, just a few light showers over portions of the Gulf Coast, and maybe even a few pop-up storms right there along that Sabine River as well. Sabine River, I should say, never mind. But as we take a look right now, we are looking at those mid to upper 90s, those mostly sunny skies throughout. Your allergy count. Weeds and pine in the low, mold is in the high, and we have elevated levels of alternaria. You can find that each and every day on KVUE.com and the KVUE app. High pressure sitting right over us, and that's going to strengthen and make us drier and hotter for Friday afternoon. I do have a high in those triple digits, and as we look through Saturday, back to average for this time of year, back to the triple digits Sunday, a little bit below average Monday with 98, and then triple digits again on Tuesday. So pretty much a back and forth, up and down and all around over these next few days. So with that, let's take a look at the tropics, and we do have a post-tropical cyclone that we are now tracking. This was a tropical storm. This is post-tropical storm Dexter, and we are looking at that system moving well out to sea and maybe headed for the British Isles. We are tracking a system that shouldn't be an impact to land either. Maybe some slightly elevated surf along the Outer Banks of North Carolina. But by and large, we just have a 30% chance of development over the next 7 days. But it's this guy I'm tracking right here over the central Atlantic that has a 60% chance of development within the next week. The next name on this list, for what it's all worth, is going to be Aaron. So we are going to watch that very, very closely. Now back here locally, Sunday and Monday, I do have a 10% chance of maybe a few isolated showers here and there, but we're looking at triple digits also on Wednesday as well. And Thursday I have a high of around 101. So models have shifted a little bit. We're looking at a slightly hotter pattern over these next 7 days. But by and large, not really seeing a whole lot in terms of storm chances or anything of that particular sort. So really short and sweet little update here. Not really much to speak of here today. Just the main thing that we're watching is whether we hit the triple digits or not. Crazy stat, and I'm going to show you all this, and I'm going to put this in a box once I'm able to pull it up. But last year, all of last year, we had 32 triple digit days, including 17 up to this point. I'm going to look for that graphic here, and I'm going to pull that up in the boxes, and it's something that we really have been tracking so far this year. So let's take a look at our boxes here, and let's look at our triple digit days. Let me redo these boxes here. There we go. That looks a lot better. But 32 triple digit days all of 2024. Thank goodness we didn't have the 90 triple digit days that we had in 2011 last year, but we did have 32. That equates to a whole month's worth of triple digit days. Now this year, we have only had 7 triple digit days, and it remains to be seen whether we got to number 8 today, but still, we are well off the pace compared to a year ago where at this point we had 17 triple-digit days, and you saw Casey Sherman, our morning meteorologist, she talked about it this morning on KVU Daybreak. She'll have more on how the pattern is for tomorrow morning on KVU Daybreak, which is from 4:30 to 7, and then Daybreak Plus from 7 to 9. Definitely want to tune in for that, but also the 4 o'clock show, KVU News at 4 with yours truly, and then we've got our chief meteorologist, Hunter Williams, at 5, 6, and 10, all on KVU, on KVU.com, as well as the KVU app. And while we're here, if anyone has any questions, questions from the gallery, because I know Hunter is here and I know he's working hard, getting ready for the 5, 6, and 10. Doesn't look like he has anything. He's probably a little laser focused, but yeah, not really a whole lot to speak of today. But there's another thing I do want to talk about, and that is going to be our drought monitor. And we do have some changes here locally, and we're going to talk about those here in a second. But first, I'm going to pull up last week's drought monitor if this populates, because this is, okay, here we go. Last week's drought monitor, here's last week here locally. And now let's take a look at this week. And it doesn't look like there's a lot of change from last week to this week here locally. Now, there are some areas that did kind of regress, but it's mostly in the southern and southwestern parts of the state. But also there were some improvements as well. Okay, we did see a little bit of improvement over portions of that southern hill country. I'm a little surprised that we didn't really see any improvement on this week's drought monitor over sections of Travis and Hays counties, because we did get some good rains this past weekend in those areas, but apparently it wasn't enough to get those areas out of that moderate level of drought. So something that we're going to continue to watch, something that we're going to continue to monitor, something that we're hopefully don't see any regression on as we head into portions of next week, because we do have a dry weather pattern. We do have a few isolated shower chances, maybe on Sunday and Monday. They're only around 10%, if that, but hopefully we don't have any regression in our drought this summer. This is the hottest portion of the year, all the way until August the 14th, and then the averages still start coming down as we head into fall, and then eventually into the winter before they come back up again, back into the spring, and then into your summer months. So if no one doesn't really have any questions, I will see you guys on KVU News at 4 on KVU.com, KVU Plus, the KVU app, wherever you choose, and also, of course, on air on KVU. So I will see y'all in the